So in chapter 7, the last portion that we are left with is some numerical problems. So we shall learn some of the numerical problems that is related to elasticity of supply. So in the previous classes we have just discussed how to calculate the elasticity of supply when we talk about the percentage method. So we will mostly use the percentage method for calculating or measuring the elasticity of supply for some of the numerical problems. So right now what we have is problem number 1. So let us first look at the question. So if price of a commodity rises from rupees 48 per unit to rupees 50 per unit, its quantity supply increases from 10 units to, I think this is 100 units. So make it 100 units to 200 units. So find out its elasticity of supply. So here we are seeing the rise in the prices. So prices of a commodity increases from rupees 48 per unit to rupees 50. So since there is an increase in the price level, what happens to the supply is supply also increases from 100 units to 200 units. So we have to find out what is the degree of responsiveness of supply according to the increase in the price. So we have to find out the elasticity of supply. So solution. So ES is given by, from the formula I'm taking, change in Q divided by change in P into price by Q. So this is the formula, percentage method. So let us find out the change in Q. So change in Q is change in quantity. So 200 minus 200 units minus 100 units, because earlier it was 100 and 200 is increased when price increases. So change in quantity will be 100 units. And the original quantity was how much? It was 100. And again, let us find out the change in price, which is rupees 50 minus rupees 48. So rupees 2 is the change in prices. And what is the original prices? Original price was 48. So let us put this, represent this in the formula, put the values. So what we have, change in Q is how much? 100 units. Change in price is how much? It is 2 into original price was 48, original quantity was 100. So we cut this 2, and what we have is 48 divided by 2, and then elasticity will be 24. So the elasticity is 24. So that is how we calculate the elasticity of supply. When there is a rise in the prices, quantity, supply also increases, and that is how we find out the elasticity of its supply when price changes. So we are finding out the degree of responsiveness of quantity supply in reaction to the change in its prices. So again we have a similar problem, that is problem number 2. So where here the question says the price of commodity increased from rupees 12 to rupees 15. So when it was at rupees 12, quantity supply was 500 units, and when it has increased to rupees 15, quantity supplied is supply is 650 units. So it has increases when it has increased in supply when price increases. So we have to calculate the price elasticity and find out whether the elasticity of supply is really elastic or inelastic. So solution. So again, let us find out elasticity of supply is given by change in Q by change in price into P by Q. So that is the formula. So we shall find out what is the change in Q. So change in Q, quantity supply will be 650 units minus, earlier it was only 500 units. So it will be 150. So it will be 150 units. And then the original quantity supply was only 500 units. Again, let us find out the change in price. Change in P is rupees. So rupees 15 minus rupees 12, which is rupees 3. But the original price was only 12. So substituting the values of Q, and P, we have so change in Q, it was 150. Change in price was rupees 3 into original price was 12. Original quantity supply was this one. So do we have here 350. So 50 into 12 by, and then cut this 510. So 12 divided by 10 equals 1.2. So elasticity of supply is 1.2. So 1.2 is greater than 1. So it is elastic supply. So we have found out the elasticity of supply, and we have also came to know that the supply is elastic because it is greater than 1. It is 1.2. So that is how we find out the elasticity of supply. So again, we have problem number 3. So problem number 3 is little bit different from problem number 1 and 2. So but don't panic. So question, according to the question, you may be asked to find out the elasticity of supply, the quantity change, the change in price. So depending on the questions, you have to solve the problem. So in problem number 3, what they are asking is you have to find out the new quantity when there is a change in price. So beginning, what is given in the question is at price rupees 8, quantity supply is 200 units. So it price elasticity is 1.5. Here price elasticity is already given when it was rupees 8, 200 units of commodity is supplied, and in that case elasticity is 1.5. So it is given. But if its price rises to rupees 10, earlier it was only rupees 8, when it has increased to rupees 10 per unit, what will be the quantity supply at these new prices? So we have to find out the quantity at the new prices. So solution, and again formula is given by change in Q divided by change in P divided by PQ. So what do we find out here? And then this is the formula. So what is given in the question? Elasticity is given by 1.5, and then next is what is the change in prices? Change in price would be rupees 10 minus rupees 8, which is equal to 2. So this is the change in price, and the original price was rupees 8. And what is the change in Q? That we have to find out. And the original quantity supplied was 200 units. So let us substitute this value, this we have to find out, and these values in the formula. So we shall substitute that. So ES is 1.5, elasticity of supply is 1.5, and change in Q that we have to find out. And then change in P was how much? Rupees 2 into original price was rupees 8, and then original quantity was 200. So let us cut here. 2 4s are 8, and then 4 1s are 4, 4 50s are 200. So what we have here, 1.5 equals to change in Q into 1 by 50. So bring the change in Q this side, and then 50 into 1.5. So next, so change in Q equals to 50 into, so you turn this decimal point, and then you will have 15, and then 1 0, and then change in Q equals to you cut this 2 zeros, and then what you have is 15 into 5 into 15. Therefore change in Q equals to 75 units. So that is how you find out the change in Q when there is a change in the prices, in the new prices. At rupees 10, this is the new price, the quantity supplied they are asking. So the quantity supplied at rupees 10 is 75 units. So that is how you find out the quantity that is produced in the new price. So here 75 unit is the increase in the supply. So at the new higher prices, this 75 units is the increase in amount. So the quantity supply will increase, or the total supply increase will be the quantity supplied increase to, so the initial quantity was 200, and plus we are adding this increase in the supply, that is it will be 275 units in total. So that is the 75 is the increase in supply in the new prices, and when we try to combine, or when we total up the previous, in the previous output, the previous unit of supply when it was rupees only 8, and then when it was rupees 10, the total that we get is 275 units. So that is how we find out the quantity supplied. So again, problem number 4 is same with problem number 3, the previous one. So we have to find out the change or the new quantity supplied, finding out the new quantity that is supplied at the new prices. So we have to find out that. So solution, ES is given by change in Q, change in price into P by Q. So again, ES is given to be 2. So in the question, elasticity supply is 2. And then what do we have to find out? Change in prices equals to, so earlier it was rupees 4 and now it has changed to rupees 5. So 5 minus 4 is equals to 1. So change in price is 1, and the original price was rupees 4. And then what is the change in quantity that we have to find out? And what is the original quantity that is supplied is, how much is supplied? 40 quintals. So substituting these values, let us see. So we shall substitute all that values. So ES is given by 2, elasticity supply is 2, and then what is the change in Q that we have to find out? And what is the change in price? Change in price is 1 into what is the original initial price, that is 4, and then initial quantity is 80. Let's do the calculation. 414, 428. So we can rewrite like this. Change in Q equals to 1 by 20 equals to 2. So what we have here is change in Q equals to 20 into 2, which is equal to 40. So the new quantity that is supplied is 40 quintals at the new prices, which is rupees 5. So the initial quantity was equals to 80, and the new quantity that is supplied is 40. So it will be 120 quintals. So that is how we find out the quantity that is supplied at the new prices. So again, problem number 5 is same with problem number 6. They are just asking the new quantity that will be supplied when there is a change in the price, or when there is a increase in the price from rupees 7 to rupees 8. So what will happen to the supply, or what amount of quantity will a producer supply when the prices of a commodity exchange from rupees 7 to rupees 8? And elasticity of supply is given, that is 1. So ES is given by 1. So again, let us find out solution. So elasticity of supply is given by into P by Q. So again ES equals to 1, and change in price equals to rupees. How much is the change in prices? From rupees 8 to rupees 7. So change in price is just rupees 1, and the initial price was rupees 7. And then change in Q that we have to find out, and the original quantity that is supply is 140 units. So we shall substitute all these values, and we have, substituting all those values, change in Q that we have to find out, and change in price is 1, and then the initial price was 7, and the original quantity was 140. So 7 2s are 14. And then next we bring the change in Q this side. Then 1 by 20 equals to 1. We bring out this one, and then what we have is change in Q equals to 20 units. So when there is an increase from rupees 7 to rupees 8, the increase in quantity is rupees 20 units. So from rupees 7 to rupees 8, price has increased, and the quantity increased at rupees 8 is 20 units. So with initial quantity 40 units plus the increase in quantity supply because of the increase in prices, that is 20, total we will have is 160 units in total. So 20 is the increase in quantity supply in the new price, and then when we combine both the initial quantity and the increase in the quantity, when there is an increase in prices, we have 160 units as the answer. So that is how we find out the quantity supplied at the new prices. So again here in problem number 6, they are again asking the change in the quantity supplied, or the new quantity supplied at the new prices. And here price elasticity is given by unity. Unity means 1 equals to 1. So let us find out the new quantity at the new prices. So solution, ES is given by change in Q divided by change in P into P by Q. So let us find out. ES is given as 1, and then change in price equals to, so price has changed from rupees 6 to 5, which is 1. Original price was 5. And then change in quantity that we have to find out, and then the original quantity that is supplied at rupees 5, initial price was 25 units. So we shall substitute or represent all these values here. So ES is 1, change in Q that we have to find out, change in price is just 1, original price was 5, and then original quantity, initial quantity was 5. So 5 5s are 25. So now we have 1 equals to change in Q into 1 by 5. Next we have change in Q is equals to 5, because this one is gone, this one is gone. So the change in Q is 5 when price increases from rupees 5 to rupees 6 per unit. So the initial quantity supplied was 25 units, and then the new quantity that is supplied is 5 units, and total it will be 30 units. So that is how we find out the quantity supply or the change in the quantity supply when there is a change in the prices. And we have also found out and learn how to calculate the elasticity of supply, or calculating the responsiveness, degree of responsiveness of quantity supply when there is a change in the price level. So that is some of the numerical problems regarding elasticity of supply.